Doesn't
The
match
same
up.
with you. I'm wondering if you're like Santino.
Santino.
And people look up at you and you're like,
Do you get harassed?
In a moment that sent shockwaves through the WWE universe, Kevin Owens, once known for his loyalty and bond with Sami Zayn, turned on his longtime friend in one of the most calculated betrayals ever witnessed. What was once a partnership founded on respect, shared hardships, and mutual admiration was shattered in an instant. Fans who had followed their journey for years were left in utter disbelief. Owens, a man who had been synonymous with loyalty, revealed a darker, more sinister side of himself, leaving both Zayn and the WWE Universe to grapple with the emotional fallout. This moment didn't just fracture their friendship, it marked a pivotal shift in both their careers, with the WWE Universe unsure of where this emotionally charged feud would lead. The rise of Owens and Zayn, a partnership forged in blood, sweat, and tears. To understand the weight of Owens' betrayal at Royal Rumble 2025, one must first appreciate the long and storied history between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Their bond goes back to their early days in the independent wrestling scene, where Owens and Zayn, then known as Kevin Steen and El Generico, built a reputation for themselves as two of the hardest-hitting and most gifted wrestlers in the industry. Their shared journey in Ring of Honor, ROH, showcased a deep respect for one another's abilities. Despite engaging in intense rivalries in the ring, an unspoken camaraderie flourished between the two. Their friendship survived the harshest of battles and evolved when they transitioned into WWE, where they formed one of the most beloved tag teams in the company's history. Together, they won championships and captured the hearts of WWE fans worldwide. But as time went on, cracks began to appear in the foundation of their bond. Subtle differences in ambition and personal desires began to strain their once unbreakable friendship, eventually paving the way for a shocking betrayal that would change the trajectory of their careers forever. The cracks in the foundation. Diverging paths in WWE. As their partnership in WWE progressed, the pressures of success and individual aspirations started to take their toll on Owens and Zayn's relationship. Sami Zayn, known for his emotional intensity and passion for the business, noticed Owens' gradual shift toward a more self-centered approach. Owens, who had always been a loyal friend, seemed increasingly focused on his own success, leaving Zayn feeling more isolated and less connected to their shared dreams. Zayn, ever the optimist and loyal friend, attempted to address the growing distance between them. He tried to reignite the spark of their partnership, hoping to restore the balance and unity they had once shared. However, Owens seemed indifferent, consumed by a desire to prove himself as a solo competitor in WWE. Their collective goals appeared to dissipate, replaced by Owens' need to break free from their alliance and carve out his own path to glory. This growing tension set the stage for a devastating betrayal that neither man could have anticipated. The first betrayal, NXT TakeOver, Our Evolution. The seeds of Owens' betrayal were sown long before the Royal Rumble 2025. The real beginning of this tumultuous saga can be traced back to NXT TakeOver, Our Evolution in December 2014. At that time, Sami Zayn had finally achieved his lifelong dream, capturing the NXT Championship. It should have been a moment of pure joy, a culmination of years of sacrifice and perseverance. However, Owens, who had been Zayn's closest friend, attacked him immediately after the victory. In a brutal and shocking turn, Owens assaulted Zayn in the ring, causing irreparable damage to their friendship. This wasn't just a physical attack, it was an emotional gut punch. Owens made it clear that he no longer saw Zayn as a friend, and the NXT Championship, which had once symbolized Zayn's dreams, was now a prize Owens was determined to claim. This brutal betrayal sparked a bitter rivalry that would define the careers of both men, with each match carrying deep personal stakes. The Royal Rumble 2025, Owens' transformation into a ruthless competitor. The Royal Rumble 2025 was a monumental event, but for Kevin Owens, it marked the beginning of a chilling transformation. Owens faced Cody Rhodes in a brutal ladder match for the undisputed WWE Championship, a violent and high-stakes contest that pushed both men to their limits. The match was a violent, no-holds-barred affair, with Owens and Rhodes using ladders, chairs, and every weapon at their disposal to claim victory. Despite Owens' efforts, Rhodes successfully retained the championship. But something about Owens had changed. The arrogance and bravado that had once defined his character were replaced by a quiet, unsettling demeanor. Owens's behavior became more withdrawn, and there was a palpable sense of tension in the air. Fans began to question whether something darker was brewing within Owens, something that would reshape his character and career. The betrayal unfolds, a cold and calculated attack. The following night on WWE Raw, the truth behind Owens' transformation came into full view. Sami Zayn, still reeling from his recent battles, stepped into the ring, hoping to reach out to Owens and mend their fractured relationship. Zayn, ever the optimist, believed that there might be a way to repair the bond they had once shared. But when Owens' entrance music hit, any hopes of reconciliation were dashed. Instead of the friend Zayn thought he knew, Owens emerged as a man who was unrecognizable. Cold, calculating, and ruthless, Owens launched a brutal attack on Zayn without hesitation. The assault was vicious, each strike carrying a deep sense of anger and disdain. Zayn's pain was not just physical, it was the devastation of losing someone he had trusted implicitly. Owens had cast aside his former self, embracing a darker, more menacing persona driven by ambition and resentment. The WWE Universe, stunned by the sudden shift, could hardly comprehend how the man they once revered had become this merciless force of destruction. The fallout. WWE Universe reacts to the betrayal. The impact of Owens' betrayal was immediate and profound. Fans who had followed Owens and Zayn from the independent circuit to WWE were heartbroken by the shocking turn of events. Social media exploded with messages of disbelief and sadness as fans grappled with the end of what had once been WWE's most beloved partnership. Other WWE superstars, too, reacted strongly to Owens' actions. Seth Rollins, no stranger to betrayal himself, did not mince words, calling Owens a snake and warning that his actions would forever tarnish his legacy. Meanwhile, Karrion Kross hinted at a more sinister possibility, suggesting that Owens might have aligned himself with a darker faction or was embracing a chaotic new identity. Regardless of the motivations behind Owens' actions, one thing was clear. He had crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. The future of Owens and Zayn, a rivalry reignited. While Owens' betrayal was a devastating blow to Zayn, it also marked the beginning of what promises to be one of WWE's most intense and emotionally charged rivalries. The future for both Owens and Zayn is uncertain, but one thing is certain: the feud between them is far from over. Their motivations are deeply personal, driven by years of shared history, old wounds, and a thirst for redemption. As the WWE Universe watches with bated breath, fans are left to wonder what comes next. Will Zayn find a way to extract revenge on Owens and reclaim his place in WWE? Or will Owens continue to embrace his newfound ruthlessness and dominance? The stage is set for an epic showdown, one that will no doubt become a defining chapter in both men's careers. Whatever the outcome, this rivalry is sure to escalate, and the WWE Universe will be captivated by every twist and turn. Sami Zayn's response, the quest for redemption. In the aftermath of Kevin Owens' shocking betrayal, the WWE Universe has been eagerly awaiting Sami Zayn's response. For Zayn, this attack was more than just a personal betrayal. It was an emotional and professional catastrophe. His relationship with Owens had been built on years of shared victories and sacrifices, and to have that bond destroyed in such a brutal manner was nothing short of devastating. As the weeks passed, fans speculated about Zayn's next move. Would he seek vengeance, driven by the anger of betrayal? Or would he channel the pain of his broken friendship into something greater, using it as fuel for his own redemption? This period of uncertainty created a palpable sense of anticipation, as fans knew that Zayn's next steps would be crucial in defining his legacy. Zayn, who had always been a resilient competitor, was now faced with the ultimate test. This betrayal by his once closest ally would test his resolve, forcing him to confront the pain and anger that had been inflicted upon him. His response to this challenge would determine whether he could rise above the darkness or whether Owens would continue to dominate his narrative. The road ahead: redemption or revenge? This chapter in Sami Zayn's journey will be the most significant of his career. His path forward is uncertain, but his determination and resilience will undoubtedly drive him to confront Owens, whether for revenge or redemption. Fans know that Zayn is no stranger to adversity, but this betrayal takes their rivalry to a deeply personal level. The road ahead for Zayn is fraught with emotion, and the WWE Universe eagerly awaits his next move. Whether he seeks vengeance or aims to redeem himself, one thing is certain: this feud will go down as one of the most intense and emotionally charged rivalries in WWE history. As both men's stories continue to evolve, the future of Owens and Zayn promises to deliver unforgettable moments for the WWE Universe. Kevin Owens' dark transformation, a path to uncertainty. Kevin Owens' betrayal of Sami Zayn left the WWE Universe stunned, with many questioning the motivations behind his sudden shift. Was this act of aggression the result of years of simmering frustration, or had Owens experienced a complete transformation into something darker and more unpredictable? There were whispers throughout the WWE fanbase about whether Owens had aligned himself with factions like Judgment Day, or if his actions were the result of a mental breakdown that had been quietly building for months. Regardless of the driving force behind his betrayal, one thing was unmistakable: Owens was no longer the man the WWE Universe had once known and admired. Owens' sudden coldness and newfound aggression painted a worrying picture of the man he had become. Known for his loyalty and friendship with Zayn, Owens now appeared as a ruthless, calculating figure, driven solely by personal ambition. This shift in character not only shocked fans but left many questioning whether this change was permanent. Could Owens ever return to his former self, or had he truly crossed a line from which there was no return? As Owens continued down this new, darker path, the WWE Universe was left anxiously wondering what he would do next. Had he embraced a villainous identity for good, or was this a brief phase in his career? A legacy shattered, the end of an era. The aftermath of Kevin Owens' betrayal signaled the end of an era in WWE. For years, Owens and Zayn had been a dominant and beloved duo, their bond cherished by fans worldwide. From their days in the independent circuit to their WWE run, the duo had built an undeniable chemistry that made them one of the most celebrated partnerships in the company's history. However, in the blink of an eye, that bond was shattered, leaving both men to face the emotional and professional consequences of Owens' actions. For Owens, the betrayal not only fractured his relationship with Zayn, but also dramatically altered the trajectory of his career. Once a fan favorite, Owens was now seen as a villain, his ambition and self-interest taking center stage. The fallout from this betrayal would likely resonate for a long time, leaving the WWE Universe to wonder whether Owens would continue down this dark, destructive path, or if there was any chance of redemption. The loss of his friendship with Zayn meant that Owens was no longer anchored by loyalty, and that loss could have far-reaching consequences on both his career and legacy. For Zayn, the betrayal had an equally profound impact. Not only had he suffered a personal wound at the hands of his former best friend, but Owens' actions also jeopardized Zayn's career. For Zayn, who had always proven himself to be a resilient and driven competitor, this act of betrayal was unlike any other challenge he had faced. The true test for Zayn would be whether he could recover from this emotional devastation and rise from the ruins of his shattered friendship with Owens. The crossroads: redemption or revenge. In the wake of Owens' devastating betrayal, Sami Zayn found himself at a crossroads, both personally and professionally. How would he respond to the pain and heartbreak? Would he choose the path of redemption, using the betrayal as fuel to propel himself forward? Or would he fall into the depths of revenge, consumed by the desire to avenge his friend turned enemy? Zayn's next steps would be critical in defining not just his relationship with Owens, but also his legacy in WWE. If Zayn chose revenge, it could lead to an explosive and deeply personal rivalry with Owens. A fierce, no-holds-barred feud would undoubtedly follow, but the question remained: would seeking vengeance cloud Zayn's judgment? Revenge often comes at a cost, and Zayn would need to consider whether pursuing this route would ultimately define him by bitterness and anger, or if it would drive him toward greatness. On the other hand, if Zayn sought redemption, he would need to summon the strength to rise above the betrayal. This path would require him to heal his emotional wounds and find a way to channel his pain into a stronger, more focused pursuit of success. Either way, the road ahead for Zayn was fraught with uncertainty, but it would surely shape the rest of his career. For Owens, his future was equally unpredictable. His newfound villainous persona had captured the attention of WWE fans, leaving them eager to see how he would continue to evolve. Would he embrace his darker nature, wreaking havoc on anyone who crossed his path? Or could Owens find a way to redeem himself in the eyes of the WWE Universe, perhaps realizing that his vendetta against Zayn had taken a toll on his own sense of identity? The emotional fallout of his betrayal would surely affect him, and whether it would ultimately lead to his downfall or his redemption remained to be seen. The saga continues, unresolved tensions and growing hostility. The rivalry between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn had once been defined by their friendship, but now it was poised to become one of the most personal and intense feuds in WWE history. Fans were left to wonder what the next chapter in their saga would bring. Would the two former friends meet in the ring once again? And if so, what would be the stakes? Would their inevitable rematch be about more than just wrestling? It would be about retribution, justice, and emotional catharsis. For Zayn, the path ahead was uncertain, and the question loomed large. Could he overcome the bitterness of Owens' betrayal, or would he allow that same bitterness to drive his every decision? His emotional journey would be crucial as he worked to rebuild himself, both as a competitor and as a man, after having his trust and loyalty so deeply shattered. Fans were eager to see how Zayn would reclaim his place at the top of WWE, but they were equally fearful that the darkness of revenge could consume him. Meanwhile, Owens' future remained equally uncertain. He had transformed into a figure of chaos, unpredictability, and cold ambition. While some fans were intrigued by this shift in his character, others feared that Owens had crossed a line from which he could never return. The question remained, could Owens find a way to redeem himself, or would he be forever defined by his betrayal of Zayn? Whatever the outcome, Owens' journey was destined to be marked by further conflict and drama. The impact of Owens' betrayal. Defining legacies. As the WWE Universe continued to absorb the impact of Owens' betrayal, it became clear that this was more than just a storyline. It was a defining moment in both men's careers. For Owens, this act had the potential to redefine his legacy in WWE. The path he chose following his betrayal would either elevate him as a dominant villain or serve as a cautionary tale of how ambition can erode one's humanity. For Zayn, this betrayal was an opportunity to prove his resilience and strength. How he responded would shape not just his career, but his place in WWE history. In the coming months, the WWE Universe would be captivated by the unfolding drama between Owens and Zayn. Would Zayn rise from the emotional wreckage and reclaim his career? Or would the loss of his friendship with Owens forever alter his trajectory? Could Owens continue to embrace his darker side? Or would his desire for power eventually lead to his undoing? One thing was certain. The emotional weight of this rivalry would continue to echo throughout WWE for years to come. Both Owens and Zayn had been forever changed by the events of Royal Rumble 2025, and their feud, born from betrayal, would continue to captivate fans as it evolved into one of the most emotionally charged rivalries in WWE history. Their legacies, now forever intertwined, would be defined by this pivotal moment. The WWE Universe, in the meantime, could only watch in anticipation to see what came next in this tumultuous and dramatic saga.